Right, welcome back to Fly Fishing Rutland Water. This is going to be the final video of the season. I've decided that I'm going to have a break. I quite like the idea of a closed season, so I'm going to have some time off from October to March. So this will be my final filming session. I really just wanted to come out today. The weather is atrocious. The wind is awful, it's raining, it's probably the most miserable day I've fished in this year. But I thought I wanted to come down and do one last video just to say thanks to everybody for watching the videos and supporting the channel. It's gone way beyond what I ever expected. Just the number of subscribers and views and just the positive comments on Facebook and just the comments on the videos. It's just been a really great year. If you'd said to me at the beginning of the year that I'd been nearing 1,000 subscribers, within 6 months of starting the channel, I really would have thought you were mad. That's kind of where we're heading at the moment. And I say it's just been absolutely fabulous. I've met so many people on the bank that have come and said hello, people that have said hello from the boats just when I was fishing over there. And it's just turned into a fabulous season. I've really just come down here because it's one of the few spots where I think there's a chance of being able to fish without tangling my line around my head. It's also a place where I've seen some fish in the area, so I thought there may be a chance of getting something even in this squally winds. I'm not really down for long. Like I said, it's really just a farewell video. I'm looking forward to having really a few months off of fishing. I don't really like fishing in the really awful winter conditions. I'd much rather be tucked up inside. I mean, look at this. I mean, seriously, you really want to fish in this? I don't think the fish like it either. Since this kind of squally storm has come in, the fishing's like it's dropped off of a cliff. Yeah, normally I'd be expecting to have, usually within the first 2 or 3 casts I'd have expected to have seen a fish if they were here. And I know there's fish in this area, there have been fish in this area all year. But there doesn't seem to be any action today. I mean, I know I've only been fishing for less than 5 minutes, but I kind of have found recently that if there's fish in a spot, you get a follow within the first couple of casts, usually. I'll do my usual trick of moving a few feet along just so I'm covering some new water, but I don't think we're going to get anything today. I mean, look at that out there. I hate to think what it would be like out in a boat there. I was supposed to be out in a boat on Wednesday, but I cancelled. I was too much of a chicken to go out in that kind of weather. Hello. I think even the swan is telling me that I've got rocks in my head. I've actually gone up to, I'm using the Hardy Wraith again in the 8-weight line. You need something that's going to power your way through this wind. It's incredibly gusty. Really gusty. I don't know how long I'm going to last today. I've never fished this bank before, so it's nice to finish the season in a spot that I've never fished before. Also, it's funny when it's low water, if I look across to the magic tree where I was catching lots of fish, you can see why that's such a good spot. That's a really steep drop off from the bank. So with this low water, you can see that from that bank without wading, you're immediately into deep water right away, which probably explains why that's such a brilliant early season spot. Now, we turned a lot of fish in here from the boat. We came in between those two buoys a week or so ago, and there was quite a lot of fish in this area. I thought they would have been still here and taken into the bank, but so far there's nothing showing at all. Now what I might do is I might have a go off here, and if I don't get anything off here, I may go up and over into Sailing Club Bay as well and just give that a go. Oh, there's a bow wave. Is it taken? Right, that was the first bow wave. Never took that. Let's see if we can entice it again. Pull the fly back quite quickly and then see if we can induce the take. Now that shows me there's fish in the area, but they're not taking the popper. Now that happened last night, so let's try the technique of immediately, we've seen a fish in the area, let's switch the popper for something a little bit more natural. But that at least gives me an indication that there are fish in the vicinity. Doesn't mean we'll catch them. Fish that I've been seeing off Armley Wood for the last couple of days have been incredibly pernickety. Very, very fussy, not wanting to take at all. That's the daddy out. Not quite as far as I wanted, but that's roughly in the area where that fish was moving, so we'll see if they take. It's a new technique this I've been trying, which is rising the fish on the popper and then, as I say, trying something a little bit more natural to get them to take. Let's get this one a little bit further out. That's where I wanted it to be. Bring a little bit of line in, we don't need to go that far out. And if I don't get anything in the daddy, I'll try a shrimp. And if that doesn't work, I'll try a grenade. I did see fish in the area when I was driving past. I saw one come straight out of the water and then another one kind of showing just under the surface. The reason I don't like fishing into the winter is obviously one, that it's cold, but secondly I don't like catching brown trout out of season. Even though they all go back, I just don't like catching fish out of season. If there weren't any browns in here, I would maybe go out on the odd day in the winter time, but I just don't like the idea of catching a brown. And I know they're only stocked, but they're kind of it's the brown trout that make Rutland special, and I just kind of like them to be left in the reservoir. That's I don't mind if other people choose to take them, that's absolutely fine by them, but for me I prefer to see them go back into the reservoir. And again, sometimes it's nice to let the popper sit for a few seconds before we... Oh! That's not any fun. This is nonsense. You can't even tell which way the line's going to go from one cast to the next. It's just going everywhere. There's people playing golf in this. God, there's one thing I can think that could be that these conditions would be worse for than fishing. It's golf. One last change of fly. God knows why. And look at those trees. Winter fishing. Why? In what way is this meant to be fun? Oh no! God! Oh no! The other thing that's been tremendous about the channel is it's kind of forced me to go to places that I wouldn't normally go. Because obviously I want to try and keep it interesting. So if I just keep going to the same old spots that I've always fished, it's going to be kind of dull. And even today, this is a side of the bay that I've never fished before. And I definitely want to come back in better conditions. I think this will be a fabulous spot when the conditions are a little bit more hospitable and the fish are actually in a feeding mode. One follow. I thought I would have had more than that. God, these guys in the boat, they look like they're having fun as well. Whoa. Is he in? No, it's not. I thought his rod was bending, but it's just the trick of the light. Now they've been in the bay. They obviously come out, so there obviously isn't much action in the bay either. It's also interesting because I'm finishing the season on the complete opposite bank from where I started it. I started it in Yellowstone over there. Had a fabulous day over there. And I think I've done quite a lot of my fishing on the peninsula. Most of it's been on the peninsula. I ventured over here a couple of times, obviously, and had some good sessions over here, particularly by the magic tree over there. What normally happens in this bay is the fish seem to start out in the deeper water, come along this bank, turn in the corner, then follow the bank along to that, what I call the magic tree. And what I was doing earlier in the season was standing at the tree, watching the fish rise and further up the bank, and then throwing the fly out to intercept them. And that was great fun because it was quite visual fishing. But you could do the same thing on this bank if the wind's in the right direction. I wouldn't dream of fishing off the point today. I mean, that must just be so exposed. It's ridiculous. God, just when you thought it couldn't get any grimmer. Oh! What are we doing? Now that fish is just doing that to annoy me. Right, I'm going to try one last thing. One last throw of the dice. We'll put a black and gold humongous and go down a little bit. See if that's maybe what the fish are doing. Why do we do this? This is what I do for you viewers. This is the trials and tribulations I put myself through for the viewers of my channel. God's sake. Right, I've got a black and gold humongous. This is what I would call the last throw of the dice. I'm just working on the assumption that they might be there, they just might be slightly further down, and if I throw a black and gold humongous down, let it drop. Oh, there was a fish just behind that boat as well, so there's fish obviously in this bay. They're just not feeding on fry. Right, well thanks for coming fly fishing on Rutland water with me this morning. And thanks for coming fly fishing on Rutland water for this entire season. It's been a fabulous season. I set it with the challenge that I was going to try and show you as many different spots of Rutland water as I possibly could, show you different techniques in different conditions and really just give you a feel for what this wonderful place is like. It's my first year of full retirement and I have to say I've absolutely loved every minute of it. I'm going to hang the rods up now. I won't be doing any more fishing over the winter period because quite frankly I really don't want to be out in this. I wish you all well, those of you that are fishing into the winter, tight lines to you all. I hope you have a great end to the season. I'll look forward to seeing you next year on the bank and on the boats. We're going to repeat the whole thing, but next year my challenge is I've got to try and find different places from where I've been this year. So thanks to all of you that have watched the videos, that have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it more than you can possibly imagine. Thanks to all of you that have said hello on the bank, from the boats. I mean, that's actually what's made the channel a lot of fun. I've met so many genuinely nice people this year on the banks and around the place that it's just kind of brought fishing to a whole new level. I've also made some great friends that have gone beyond just meeting on the bank and actually going out fishing. So special thanks to Andrew Laird and Tony Mould for coming out on the boats with me on the bank and just having a real good laugh together. Keep watching the channel over the winter because I may be posting some compilation videos and a few other little things from the warmth of the house, reflecting on the season, talking about things I've learned in terms of flies and stuff like that. So I will be posting the odd thing, but I definitely will not be out fishing again. So for the final time on the bank this season, if you've liked this video, please make sure you hit the like button, and I would be delighted if you'd subscribe to the channel to see more of my fishy adventures. Thanks for watching.